So yesterday, I broke my own personal best record for the polar plunge, ice bath, cold exposure thing. Okay, so if you don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, I've been doing this cold exposure therapy where I climb into an ice barrel full of fucking ice water. It's like 34 degrees in there. And through breathing, I sit in the cold water, and through my breathing, I relax myself from a state of panic into feeling like I'm in control. Yesterday, I had this crazy breakthrough. I had a personal best record that I just exploded. So I have only been able to sit in the barrel for maybe 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds. I get in the ice water, I hyperventilate. And then I hit this moment where I'm like, okay, I'm in control. And then I climb out of it. And yesterday, I was in that motherfucking thing for 3 minutes. And I had this breakthrough where I got in and I panicked. And then I breathed and I got to that level of feeling like, okay, I'm in control. I'm not going to die. But my heart's still like this. I just felt in control. And I stayed past the 45-second mark where I normally get out. And then I stayed what looked like another 45 seconds, and something fucked up happened. I literally felt in my body, Chris, as if somebody had taken and found a switch and shifted down. And I the motion, I think I used to have a stick shift in high school, and you would have to like crank it from here and over and down. It felt like a shift down in my entire body. And I went from feeling in control to totally calm.
But when you're in the water, you know, you feel that. I know that that sort of stinging sensation goes away over time.
Not my hands and feet.
Sort of. Yeah, that's true. For me too. My toes and my fingers. Like I struggle to bring my fingers into the water. I tried that this morning and they just got so cold.
Well, I put them in between my legs like this. So I like make a thigh sandwich. So it's like flesh mittens down here as I'm like got my hands between my thighs.
That's a good strategy. But you know, it's one thing to be telling yourself you're in control, but how is that playing out? Like you just looked like you were so calm, like that you were in a meditative state almost. So well,
I want to play the moment. So we're going to cut to the moment where I go from about 45 seconds in, where I'm like, you'll notice I'm breathing in. So the technique is to breathe in and out through your nose, like. And so I did that for 45 seconds. So I'm in this state where I've gone from chaos, panic, freak out. About 45 seconds into the breathing, I'm now feeling like I'm in control, meaning I'm not going to die. I don't like this, but I'm not going to die. And then in this clip, you're going to see me go from that to literally, you can't hear me breathing because I have gone from the intentional long breath in and long breath out into literally just normal breathing, just literally being. And so watch this clip real quick. Okay, that's it.
Mom.
Now, what happened for me in that moment, Chris, is that it's as if my mind and body caught up with what I had been kind of saying in my mind, which is, I'm okay. I'm okay. I can do this. I'm okay. Because when the first 45 seconds, you're chaos, panic, heart's racing, fight or flight nervous system, like my mind
But that was the recurring thought in your mind. You just answered my question, which is I'm okay.
Yeah, like I'm okay. It's going to be okay. And then I stop thinking anything as I get into the rhythm of breathing. And then all of a sudden, I just had a feeling that there was no reason to panic.
Do you feel different?
Mm-hmm. Do I look different?
Yeah.
I actually feel calm.
Yeah, you look calm.
It's weird because I know I'm in this freezing cold water, and my thoughts are literally, I'm just like, I'm okay. And I think you probably saw in the beginning there was that panic a little bit, and the breathing was not under control. And I'm signaling to my nervous system that I'm okay. Like the alarm does not need to be sounding right now. And what that feeling was my nervous system switching from fight or flight to the resting, calm, parasympathetic nervous system taking over. And I could be in that water and know that it was cold and know that my fingers and feet were tingling and not be scared and not feel like I had to get out and just be able to be in there without any thoughts at all. Like I wasn't thinking, this is cold, I got to get out, how long have I... And occasionally, I'd be like, how long do you think I've been in? Or I noticed a mountain and it's like, this is beautiful. And I'm like, this is so weird because I'm not, it's like, of course I'm cold because I'm in 34-degree water and my hands and feet are tingling. But I'm not freezing and feeling like I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to get the fuck out of here. And that is such a breakthrough for me because I think I've spent a really large part of my life feeling like I got to get out of here. I got to run to the next thing. I got to be moving. And so for me to have an experience where I could not only put myself in a state or fight or flight and have my heart rate freak out and then breathe myself into a moment where I'm like, okay, I'm in control. I'm going to be okay. And then to go a layer deeper and just be able to be present in a situation where you're in freezing ass water. Like, how could you possibly enjoy that?
No, I I was there. I watched it, and it's rare to see you in that sort of calm Zen state.
Yeah.
And I also think that what you're saying is that, because I think the tendency is to think about, oh, my hands are cold, or, oh, this is uncomfortable, or, oh, how long I've been in here. And the power is inside of quieting that rhetoric and just, as you say, just experience being.
Yeah. There's the incredible book by Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, that is all about his time in a concentration camp in Nazi Germany and how he writes this extraordinary account of being there and how he survived and managed the most horrific experiences that human beings have ever had to endure by managing his thoughts and reactions. And he is the person who is credited with the quote that we all hear about how you can't control what's happening around you, but you can choose how you respond to it. And I remember this incredible scene where I think he was talking about they were marching in the winter and his feet were frozen solid and people had gangrene on their feet. And if they would fall over, one of the guards would beat you or shoot you. And he, in that situation, life or death situation, can't even imagine what that would be like. He talks about looking up at the clouds and imagining his wife's face. Now, he has no idea where she is. They got separated when they were sent to the camps. And in that moment, in that horror, he was present with his wife. And so, you know, I've always read that quote, you can't control what's going on around you, you can control how you respond to it. I think intellectually I get it. What happened for me in that moment, and I'm not trying to say that it is on any kind of scale to what Viktor Frankl is talking about,
I
but it
understand.
was my first cellular experience
Right.
of, I think, what he's talking about. And what so many teachers and experts out there talk about when they are trying to teach us through various modalities, that you can change yourself from the inside out, that you can focus your thoughts and your breathing on something outside of what's happening to you in this moment. And that can anchor you in a very, very powerful and grounding way. And I can see how that physical experience of feeling me shift into a state of being completely calm and completely present in a very like confronting, challenging, threatening situation, sitting in a barrel of ice for almost 3 minutes. I can see how that will have an extraordinary, I'll wait for that to go. I can see how that experience physically will change me as a parent, change me as a boss, change me as a friend, as a spouse, because it was a level of presence and being able to be just in my body and okay, despite what was going on around me. It's a really cool skill.
Well, and
One
it's-
I've never had before.
and it's the reason I think what you're also describing, because so many people ask, like, how is it that this cold therapy can be helpful for something like anxiety or depression? And what you're describing is just the ability to quiet that, to quiet the mind. And
Well, now you struggle with depression, so how is it helping you?
I mean, I think some of it is just knowing after going through the experience that, to your point, you can control anything. But also moving through the anxiousness that occurs before you even get into the tub. Like for me, that's a big deal, is just not letting your excuses get in the way and just moving through and getting in the tub and leveraging your breath to calm your nervous system. And I think that how does it affect depression for me? I mean,
Well, let me ask you this. Given that depression seems like a giant gray fog that is just hanging over, and that impacts intrinsic motivation, it impacts energy, it impacts optimism and vitality, and it just creates a heaviness to your life and a dullness to your life experience. And given, YOLO, do not do that, please. Please don't. Given that it creates this heaviness, right? And a lot of what I've researched, especially with the 5-second rule, is that there's this concept called activation energy. It was discovered by Mikhail Csikszentmihalyi, I think is his last name. He was a professor in Chicago, and he discovered that if you're going to create a new habit or you're going to change anything, the first piece of changing an old pattern or breaking through the heaviness of depression or interrupting anxiety is what they call activation energy, this physical force that activates the new change. And so the 5-second rule, that my countdown technique, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, is a form of tapping into activation energy. I would imagine, not a doctor, not a PhD, but I would imagine, based on all the research that I've done, that the skill that you're developing of being able in a moment where you feel resistance or you feel that heaviness and you're like, I don't want to get in the barrel. I don't feel like doing it. This is going to suck. Like that negative weighing down, hesitation, resistance energy, that by pushing through it and climbing in that barrel anyway, you are developing a skill and a muscle of tapping into and creating the activation energy to push through resistance, heaviness, excuses anywhere in your life.
100%. For sure.
What else? Anything else? So you're going to try to beat my personal record?
I tried this morning and I failed. You're a hero.
There's very few physical things that I can beat Chris Robbins at. In fact, I can't think of anything other than this.
You kicked my ass, girl.
I did. I am a mental ninja, is what we're discovering here. And he is a dog that needs to go outside and pee. You know, he's very anxious, our dog, separation anxiety. It's an Australian Shepherd herding thing. Maybe we need to teach him.
Stuff him in the tub?
To sit in the tub. I would not stuff him in the tub. That is not a sit, stop. Hi, you want to go out? Yeah, is it time? Ice bath? He likes the chips. That's going to be my new thing, is tossing icebergs at him so he can jump and catch it. Okay, it's time. Okay, time for the video to end. Hey, it's Mel. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed that video, by God, please subscribe because I don't want you to miss a thing. Thank you so much for being here. We've got so much amazing stuff coming. Thank you so much for sending this stuff to your friends and your family. I love you. We create these videos for you. So make sure you subscribe. Mwah.